Emma sat by the window of a quaint Parisian cafe, sipping her cappuccino as she watched the world go by. The streets were bustling with life, the air filled with the aroma of fresh bread and the distant sound of an accordion. She had always dreamed of coming to Paris, the city of love, art, and inspiration. But her visit wasn't just for leisure. She was here for the annual Le Chateau Art Exhibition, one of the most prestigious art events in the world. As an art curator from New York, Emma had built a reputation for her keen eye and impeccable taste. This exhibition was her chance to discover new talent and bring fresh, exciting pieces back to her gallery. However, she couldn't shake the feeling of loneliness that had followed her across the ocean. Her last relationship had ended badly, leaving her cautious and wary of opening her heart again. Lost in thought, Emma almost didn't notice the man who had entered the cafe. He was tall, with dark, wavy hair that framed a handsome, rugged face. His eyes, a piercing blue, scanned the room before settling on her. He smiled, a slow, confident smile that made her heart skip a beat. She quickly looked away, feeling a blush creep up her cheeks. Jacques, the man with the piercing blue eyes, approached the counter to order an espresso. He was a renowned French painter known for his intense, emotive works. He had a reputation for being enigmatic and somewhat aloof, but his art spoke volumes. Today, he was meeting with a potential buyer, but as his eyes fell on Emma, he found himself intrigued. Their paths crossed again later that evening at the exhibition's opening gala. The room was filled with the elite of the art world, all dressed in their finest. Emma moved through the crowd, making polite conversation and admiring the various artworks on display. As she stood before a particularly striking piece, she felt a presence beside her. "It's quite something, isn't it?" a deep, accented voice said. Emma turned to find Jacques standing next to her, his eyes fixed on the painting. "Yes, it is," she replied, trying to keep her voice steady. "The use of color and emotion is captivating." He turned to look at her, a spark of interest in his eyes. "I'm Jacques," he said, extending his hand. "Emma," she responded, shaking his hand and feeling a jolt of electricity at his touch. For the next hour, they walked through the exhibition together, discussing art, their favorite painters, and their personal philosophies. Emma found herself opening up in a way she hadn't in years. Jacques was charming, intelligent, and passionate about his work. Despite her initial reservations, she felt a connection growing between them. Over the next few days, they spent more time together, exploring the city and getting to know each other. They visited the Louvre, strolled along the Seine, and enjoyed late-night conversations in cozy bistros. Jacques showed Emma a side of Paris she had never seen, filled with hidden gems and local haunts. One evening, as they stood on a balcony overlooking the city, Jacques turned to her with a serious expression. "Emma, there's something I need to tell you." Her heart sank. She had been so caught up in the romance of it all that she had almost forgotten her past fears. "What is it?" she asked, bracing herself. "I haven't been completely honest with you," he admitted. "There's something about my work that I haven't shared." Emma felt a pang of apprehension but nodded for him to continue. "My paintings, they're inspired by someone I lost. My fiancé, she passed away 2 years ago," he said, his voice filled with pain. "Every piece I create is a way to keep her memory alive." Emma's heart ached for him. She understood the need to hold on to the past, but she also knew how it could prevent one from moving forward. "I'm so sorry, Jacques," she said softly. "Thank you for sharing that with me." Jacques looked at her, his eyes filled with vulnerability. "Emma, I feel something with you that I haven't felt in a long time. But I'm afraid. I'm afraid of letting go and opening myself up again." She reached out and took his hand. "I know how you feel. I've been hurt too. But maybe we can help each other heal." Their relationship deepened as they navigated their respective pasts. They continued to explore Paris, their bond growing stronger with each passing day. Jacques found himself inspired in new ways, creating pieces that reflected not just his past, but his hopes for the future. Emma, in turn, discovered a renewed sense of purpose and passion in her work. One evening, as they walked along the Seine, Jacques stopped and turned to Emma. "There's something I want to show you," he said, leading her to his studio. Inside, the room was filled with canvases, each more beautiful than the last. In the center stood a painting covered with a cloth. Jacques took a deep breath and pulled it away, revealing a stunning portrait of Emma, her eyes filled with life and love. "I painted this for you," he said softly. "You've brought light back into my life, Emma. You've helped me see that it's possible to love again." Tears welled up in her eyes as she looked at the painting, then at Jacques. "It's beautiful," she whispered. "Thank you." He took her hand and pulled her close. "Emma, I love you," he said, his voice filled with emotion. She looked into his eyes, her heart overflowing with happiness. "I love you too, Jacques." As they kissed, the city of Paris sparkled around them, a testament to the power of love, art, and the courage to open one's heart again. In each other, they had found not just passion, but a deep, enduring connection that promised a bright future filled with possibilities. Months passed, and Emma and Jacques continued to build their life together in Paris. Their love story became the inspiration for a new series of paintings that captivated the art world. Emma's gallery thrived with the addition of Jacques' work, and their collaboration brought them both immense joy and fulfillment. But their journey wasn't without challenges. Emma's gallery required her to travel frequently, and Jacques often lost himself in his work for days on end. They learned to navigate these hurdles with patience and understanding, always coming back to the love that had brought them together. One spring morning, Emma woke to find Jacques already up, painting by the window. The soft light of dawn cast a warm glow over him as he worked. She watched him for a moment, feeling a surge of gratitude for the life they had created. "Good morning," she said, walking over to kiss him on the cheek. He turned and smiled at her. "Good morning, my love. I have something for you." Curious, she followed him to the easel. There, he revealed a new painting, a beautiful depiction of a small, charming house with a garden in full bloom. "This is our future," he said, his eyes shining with excitement. "I found a place for us, just outside the city. It's perfect for us to live and create together." Emma felt tears of joy welling up. "It's beautiful, Jacques. I can't wait to see it." They moved into their new home that summer, a cozy cottage surrounded by nature. It became their sanctuary, a place where they could escape the demands of their busy lives and focus on their love and art. They hosted intimate gatherings with friends, shared quiet evenings by the fire, and spent countless hours in their studios, inspired by the beauty around them. As the years passed, their love story continued to evolve, growing deeper and richer with each new experience. They faced life's challenges together, always finding strength in their bond. Their work continued to touch the hearts of many, spreading the message of love, healing, and the transformative power of art. Emma and Jacques proved that even in a world full of uncertainty and pain, love could flourish. Their story became a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the magic that happens when two souls connect. And so, in the City of Lights, among the whispers of history and the echoes of passion, Emma and Jacques lived their love story, a tale of courage, healing, and the unbreakable bond that they shared. Their journey was far from over, but together, they knew they could face anything the future held. As the seasons changed, so did Emma and Jacques. Their lives intertwined in ways they had never imagined. They found joy in the simple moments, a shared laugh over breakfast, a quiet walk through their garden, and the comforting presence of each other during late-night work sessions in their respective studios. One autumn afternoon, as the leaves turned golden and the air grew crisp, Jacques received an invitation to exhibit his work at a prestigious gallery in New York. It was a significant opportunity, one that could elevate his career to new heights. However, it also meant spending several months away from their serene home. Jacques hesitated, unsure of how to balance this new opportunity with his commitment to Emma. "What do you think?" he asked, showing Emma the letter. Emma looked at the invitation, her heart swelling with pride for Jacques' achievements. "It's an incredible opportunity, Jacques. You should go." "But what about us?" he asked, his brow furrowed with concern. "We'll make it work," she reassured him. "This is your dream, and I'll support you every step of the way." With Emma's encouragement, Jacques accepted the offer. They spent their remaining days together preparing for his departure, cherishing every moment. On the day he left, they stood at the train station, holding each other tightly. "I'll miss you," Jacques whispered, his voice filled with emotion. "I'll miss you too," Emma replied, fighting back tears. "But remember, no matter where you are, my heart is with you." As the train pulled away, Emma felt a mix of sadness and pride. She knew this was an important step for Jacques, and she was determined to support him from afar. They kept in touch through long phone calls, video chats, and heartfelt letters, sharing their experiences and keeping their love alive despite the distance. Meanwhile, Emma focused on her gallery, which had become a hub of creativity and inspiration. She curated exhibitions that drew visitors from all over the world, and her reputation as an art curator continued to grow. Yet, she often found herself missing Jacques' presence, his laughter, and the comfort of his touch. Months passed, and Jacques' exhibition in New York was a resounding success. His work was praised by critics and art enthusiasts alike, and he was offered several new opportunities. However, his thoughts always returned to Emma and the life they had built together in Paris. One evening, after a particularly long day, Jacques called Emma. "I have some news," he said, his voice tinged with excitement. "What is it?" she asked, eager to hear. "I'm coming home," he said. "I've achieved so much here, but I realize that none of it means anything without you. Paris, our home, that's where I belong." Tears of joy streamed down Emma's face as she listened to his words. "I can't wait to see you," she said, her voice trembling with emotion. When Jacques finally returned, Emma was at the station to greet him. As he stepped off the train, they ran into each other's arms, their reunion filled with laughter, tears, and an overwhelming sense of relief. They returned to their cottage, more in love than ever, grateful for the experiences that had brought them closer together. With Jacques back, they resumed their life in Paris, their bond stronger than ever. They continued to support each other's dreams, knowing that their love was the foundation that made everything possible. Their story became a source of inspiration for others, a testament to the power of love, trust, and the courage to follow one's heart. One spring morning, as they sat in their garden, Jacques turned to Emma with a smile. "There's something I've been wanting to ask you," he said, his eyes twinkling with mischief. "What is it?" she asked, curious. He took her hand and looked into her eyes. "Will you marry me, Emma?" Her heart skipped a beat as she looked at him, the man who had become her everything. "Yes, Jacques," she said, her voice filled with joy. "I will." Their wedding was a beautiful, intimate affair, held in the garden of their home. Surrounded by close friends and family, they exchanged vows and promised to love and support each other for the rest of their lives. It was a day filled with laughter, tears, and the kind of happiness that comes from knowing you've found your soulmate. As they danced under the stars that night, Emma felt a deep sense of contentment. She had found not only a partner in Jacques, but also a kindred spirit, someone who understood and cherished her in a way no one else ever had. Their life together was a beautiful blend of love, art, and adventure. They continued to travel, exploring new places and finding inspiration in the world around them. Their home became a haven for creativity, a place where they could express themselves freely and support each other's dreams. In the years that followed, their love only grew stronger. They faced life's challenges together, always finding strength in their bond. Their story became a beacon of hope for others, a reminder that true love is worth fighting for and that it can flourish even in the most unexpected circumstances. And so, in the City of Lights, Emma and Jacques lived their love story, a tale of passion, healing, and the unbreakable bond that they shared. Their journey was far from over, but together, they knew they could face anything the future held. Their love was a masterpiece, painted with the colors of their experiences, their dreams, and the unwavering belief that they were meant to be.